Human health and disease. Health for a long time was considered as a state of body and mind where there was a balance of certain humors. In medicine, humor refers to a fluid or semi-fluid substance. The humors were part of an ancient theory that held that health came from balance between the bodily liquids. These liquids were termed humors. Disease arose when imbalance occurred between the humors. The humors were phlegm, blood, black bile thought to be secreted by the kidneys and spleen, and yellow bile secreted by the liver. It was thought that persons with black bile belonged to hot personality and would have fevers. This idea was arrived at by pure reflective thought. The discovery of blood circulation by William Harvey using experimental method and the demonstration of normal body temperature in person with black bile using thermometer disproved the good humor hypothesis of health. Health. Health is a state of physical, mental, and social well-being. When people are healthy, they are more efficient at work. This increases productivity and brings economic prosperity. Health also increases longevity of people and reduces infant and maternal mortality. Health may be affected by the following reasons: genetic disorders, infections, and third one, lifestyle modifications. Balanced diet, personal hygiene, and regular exercise are very important to maintain good health. Yoga has been practiced since time immemorial to achieve physical and mental health. Awareness about diseases and their effect on different bodily functions, vaccination against infectious diseases, proper disposal of wastes, control of vectors, and maintenance of hygiene in food and water resources are necessary for achieving good health. Types of diseases. Diseases can be broadly grouped into infectious and non-infectious. Diseases which are easily transmitted from one person to another are called infectious diseases. Some of the infectious diseases, like AIDS, are fatal. Among non-infectious diseases, cancer is the major cause of death. Drug and alcohol abuse also affect our health adversely. Common diseases in humans. A wide range of organisms belonging to bacteria, viruses, fungi, protozoans, helminths, etc. could cause diseases in man. Such disease-causing organisms are called pathogens. Most parasites are therefore pathogens as they cause harm to the host by living in or on them. Salmonella typhi is a pathogenic bacterium which causes typhoid fever in human beings. These pathogens generally enter the small intestine through food and water contaminated with them and migrate to other organs through blood. Let's see the symptoms of typhoid. Sustained high fever, weakness, stomach pain, constipation, headache, loss of appetite, intestinal perforation, and death in severe cases. These are the symptoms of typhoid. Vidal test is the confirmatory test for typhoid. A classic case in medicine, that of Mary Mallon, nicknamed Typhoid Mary, is worth mentioning here. Mary Mallon, also known as Typhoid Mary, was an Irish-born cook believed to have infected 53 people with typhoid fever, 3 of whom died, and the first person in the United States identified as an asymptomatic carrier of the disease. Because she persisted in working as a cook, by which she exposed others to the disease. She was twice forcibly quarantined by authorities, eventually for the final 2 decades of her life. Mallon died after a total of nearly 30 years in isolation. Pneumonia. Bacteria like Streptococcus pneumoniae and Haemophilus influenzae are responsible for the disease pneumonia in humans, which infects the alveoli. As a result of the infection, the alveoli get filled with fluid, leading to severe problems in respiration. Symptoms of pneumonia: problems in respiration, fever, chills, cough, and headache are the symptoms of pneumonia. In severe cases, lips and fingernails turn grey to bluish in color. A healthy person acquires the infection by inhaling the droplets, aerosol released by an infected person, or even by sharing glasses and utensils with an infected person. Here are some diseases caused by bacteria: dysentery, plague, diphtheria, cholera, leprosy, tetanus, anthrax, tuberculosis, whooping cough, diphtheria, pneumonia. Diarrheal diseases are some of the examples of bacterial diseases in man. Common cold. The common cold, also known simply as a cold, is a viral infectious disease of the upper respiratory tract that primarily affects the respiratory mucosa of the nose, throat, sinuses, and larynx. Signs and symptoms may appear less than 2 days after exposure to the virus. These may include coughing, sore throat, runny nose, sneezing, headache, and fever. People usually recover in 7 to 10 days. Rhinovirus cause the common cold. Droplets resulting from cough or sneezes of an infected person may contain these viruses. Symptoms of common cold: nasal congestion and discharge, sore throat, hoarseness, cough, headache, and tiredness. Droplets resulting from cough or sneezes of an infected person are either inhaled directly or transmitted through contaminated objects such as pens, books, cups, doorknobs, computer keyboard or mouse, etc., and cause infection in a healthy person. Some of the human diseases are caused by protozoans too. Malaria is one such disease. Plasmodium, a tiny protozoan, is responsible for this disease. Different species of Plasmodium, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malaria, and Plasmodium falciparum are responsible for different types of malaria. Of these, malignant malaria caused by Plasmodium falciparum is the most serious one and can even be fatal. Sporozoite, a motile spore-like stage in the life cycle of some parasitic sporozoans, that is typically the infective agent introduced into the host. Let's take a glance at the life cycle of Plasmodium. Plasmodium enters the human body as sporozoites through the bite of infected female Anopheles mosquito. The parasites initially multiply within the liver cells and then attack the red blood cells, resulting in their rupture. The rupture of RBCs is associated with release of a toxic substance, hemozoin, which is responsible for the chills and high fever recurring every 3 to 4 days. When a female Anopheles mosquito bites an infected person, these parasites enter the mosquito's body and undergo further development. The parasites multiply within them to form sporozoites that are stored in their salivary glands. When these mosquitoes bite a human, the sporozoites are introduced into his body, thereby initiating the events mentioned above. It is interesting to note that the malarial parasite requires two hosts, human and mosquitoes, to complete its life cycle. The female Anopheles mosquito is the vector transmitting this disease. This is the figure given in the NCERT reader that shows the stages in the life cycle of Plasmodium. Blood is full of proteins and amino acids, which makes it the perfect prenatal supplement for growing mosquito eggs, which is why only female mosquitoes drink blood. When female mosquitoes are not drinking your blood, they eat plant nectar just like their male counterparts. Entamoeba histolytica is a protozoan parasite in the large intestine of human, which causes amoebiasis or amoebic dysentery. Houseflies act as mechanical carriers and serve to transmit the parasite from feces of infected person to food and food products, thereby contaminating them. Drinking water and food contaminated by the fecal matter are the main source of infection. Let's see the symptoms of amoebic dysentery. Constipation, abdominal pain and cramps, stools with mucus and blood clots, nausea and vomiting, fatigue are some of the major symptoms of amoebic dysentery. Ascaris, an intestinal parasite, causes ascariasis. Symptoms of these diseases include internal bleeding, muscular pain, fever, anemia, and blockage of the intestinal passage. The eggs of the parasite are excreted along with the feces of infected persons, which contaminate soil, water, plants, etc. A healthy person acquires this infection through contaminated water, vegetables, and fruits, etc. Elephantiasis or filariasis. Filariasis is an infectious tropical disease caused by any one of several thread-like parasitic roundworms. Two species of worms most often associated with this disease are Wuchereria bancrofti and Wuchereria malayi. These worms cause a slowly developing chronic inflammation of the organs in which they live for many years, usually the lymphatic vessels of lower limbs. The lymphatic vessels are thin-walled vessels structured like blood vessels that carry lymph. The larval form of parasite transmits the disease to humans by the bite of a mosquito. A wide range of mosquitoes can transmit the parasite depending on the geographic area. In Africa, the most common vector is Anopheles, and in the Americas, it's Culex. Aedes and Mansonia can transmit the infection in the Pacific and in Asia. Let's see the symptoms of elephantiasis. The main symptom of elephantiasis is gross enlargement and swelling of an area of the body because of the accumulation of fluid. The arms and legs are the areas most often affected. An entire arm or leg may swell to several times its normal size, resembling the thick, round appearance of an elephant's leg. Treatment consists of antibiotics and anti-parasitic drugs. Ringworm. Ringworm is a misnomer. The infection has nothing to do with worms. Its name comes from the small ring or circle-shaped rash that appears on the body. A highly contagious fungal infection of the skin and scalp. Trichophyton, Epidermophyton, Microsporum are some fungi that cause this ringworm infection. Ringworm is spread by skin-to-skin contact or by touching an infected animal or object. This infection may also be acquired from soil or by using towels, clothes, or even the comb of infected individuals. Ringworm is typically scaly and may be red and itchy. Ringworm of the scalp is common in children, where it may cause bald patches. The treatment of ringworm is antifungal medicines. Prevention and control of infectious diseases. Maintenance of personal and public hygiene is very important for prevention and control of many infectious diseases. Personal hygiene practices include keeping the body clean, consumption of clean water and food. Public hygiene includes proper waste disposal, cleaning and disinfecting water bodies, standard hygienic practices in public catering. To prevent airborne diseases, in addition to the above mentioned personal and public hygienic practices, the contact with the infected persons or the belongings should be avoided. To prevent diseases like malaria and filariasis, measures to be taken to control and eliminate vectors and their breeding places. This can be achieved by avoiding stagnation of water, regular cleaning of coolers, use of mosquito nets, introducing gambusia fish in water bodies that feed on the mosquito larvae, spraying insecticides in drainage areas, fixing wire mesh to windows and doors. The advancements made in biological science have armed us to effectively deal with many infectious diseases. The use of vaccines and immunization programs have enabled us to completely eradicate a deadly disease like smallpox. A large number of other infectious diseases like polio, diphtheria, pneumonia, and tetanus have been controlled to a large extent by the use of vaccines. Hi friends, I hope this video is useful to you. If you feel so, subscribe the channel Anand Science Academy and click the bell icon for notifications. I'll meet you all in the next video with Human Health and Disease Part 2. All the best, my dear friends.